The session is now being recorded. So for today, our topic is about the univariate analysis, more on describing data. So what are the measures to describe data? Again, and as well as given the set of data, what are the various measures and interpretation? So that is the topic that we will going to discuss. So how can we measure or describing data? So ito yung sinasabi ko, by measure of central tendency. And when you say central tendency, this is the measure of central location. So how can we do that? We need to find the mean, the median, and the mode. That is the one of the more important topic. Okay, as well as measuring the position, measuring the kth element of the distribution. So ito na yung may quartile, percentile, decile. So yun yung ating mga topic, no? Kaya ngayon to describe data, that is we need to measure of variation. So we need to measure how the data is distributed and even the degree of symmetry. Later we will be discussing. So ano ba yung mean? Ito yung pinaka-importante, isa sa mga pinaka-importante topic, no? The mean, median, mode, no? So mean is the average data or other definition is describing the ratio of data given provided na meron kang mga sets. So arithmetic mean tayo mag-uumpisa, no? What is arithmetic mean, 'di ba? And as well as geometric mean, yun yung mga dapat nating ma-discuss, no? Pag sinabi nating mga arithmetic mean and as well as yung nga, geometric mean. Okay? Sige, so that is how we discuss, no? Yung ganyang mga topic, no? Pag sinabi nating arithmetic. Okay? Sige, so we need to continue pa ating topic. Okay, so now, geometric mean, we will also be discussing, no? Yung mga taasa yung tinatawag na harmonic means. Kasi madidiscuss din natin yan, yung mga harmonic means, geometric means, di ba? Even nga yung mga infinite progression, no? Madidiscuss din natin yan, no? Kahit pa paano yung mga geometric means, uh, matapik natin. Later, I will be giving an example na may problem patungkol sa arithmetic mean, no? And as well as geometric mean. Okay? Sige. So, harmonic mean as well. Trimmed, saka quadratic or root mean square. So arithmetic mean for discrete case, that is the formula. Summation of individual, yung mga x sub 1, x sub 2, so, and so forth. N is the total sample, no? At the population mean, so magkaiba yung sample, no? Yung denotion ng x bar is sample. Yung mu is the population mean. Summation of the x divided by the total population. Capital N indicates the total population, while the small letter n indicates the sample. So arithmetic mean characteristic, all values are used, and as well as these are unique. Then the arithmetic mean is the only measure of central tendency where the sum of the deviation of each value is the mean is zero. So we will be calculating the sum of values. Later, I will be giving an example, no? So that to describe this arithmetic mean. Okay, imagine this guys, no? Ito yung measurement natin. So, ano bang indication ng arithmetic mean? Di ba pag arithmetic mean, usually ang pinaka-formula niyan, let's say, I will give the formula na for the arithmetic mean. Bigyan na rin ako ng example siguro, no? Most likely, pag arithmetic mean, meron kang tinatawag na, let's say, AM to, no? That is for the arithmetic mean. Yan yung ano, tinatawag natin na sum of the numbers. Ito yung isa sa mga pinaka-basic formula. The sum of the numbers divided by the you call this the population, no? O yung total, no? So yung total population natin. Let's say for example, Kumbaga sa ano, yung arithmetic mean, yun yung ating ano, pinaka-example. Later, I will be given example. Siguro ito, bigyan na tayo. Halimbawa, the arithmetic mean, example number one, no? The arithmetic, ay, wala pa palang recorded. Hindi ko pa na-record. Ay, naka-record na, no? Tama. Okay, naka-record na. Okay. Sige. So, akala ko hindi ko pa naka-record. Okay. Sige. So, ngayon, guys, no? The arithmetic mean is, do you call this, let's say, of 80 numbers is 55. Tapos, isa-solve natin, no? Tapos, if two numbers, namely, 250 and 850 are removed, what is the arithmetic mean of the remaining numbers? Is the arithmetic mean of the remaining numbers. Okay, that is the solution. O that is the question. Now, dito, magle-let S tayo. No? Let S is the sum of the numbers. Okay, tapos, ano ba yung arithmetic of me? Alit, ano daw yung mga values natin? Sabi dito, the arithmetic mean of 80 is 55. So, ito yung 55. Kukunin ko muna yung S. Ngayon, yung 250 o yung ating 80, yun yung total. Nung 55 na yon. So, kukunin ko muna yung S nito. So, by multiplying that, I think we can get a value of, sa calculator ko, 4,400. Pero hindi pa ito ang tanong kasi ang tinatanong, what is the arithmetic mean of the remaining numbers? Now, if two numbers, 250 and 850 are removed, so ibig sabihin, magkakaroon tayo ng panibagong equation na ni-remove daw, kaya magkakaroon tayo ng bagong arithmetic mean o new arithmetic mean. So, meron kang total na S. So, hindi natin alam pa yung, ito kasi ito yung 4,400 minus 250 minus 850 kasi these are removed. What is the total arithmetic mean? Now, kung initially 80 pero may inalis ka dalawang number, so nabawasan. So, instead of 80, 78 na lang. So, therefore, pag kinuha ko ito, ang bagong arithmetic mean sa calculator ko ay, pakicheck kung tama, 42.307. And this is the new arithmetic mean. This is how we interpret the problem. So, again, using that formula. No? Okay, so here, nakikita nyo rin dito, no? Ito yung, kumbaga, ito yung pinaka-min, sample min eh. Diba? So this is how we describe data. Ito by positioning to. Ngayon, paano mamaya ma-integrate natin by positioning? Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na ano sa to measure the location, no? Later we will be discussing. So I hope ito ay naintindihan. You can screenshot, no? Para meron kayong copy, no? Okay, so I think we can now continue. Sige. So let's continue. Again, this is already recorded, no? Okay, now, the arithmetic mean, guys, ito, no, I don't know if you have the integral, no? Pero kasi, ang pinagmulan talaga, actually, before, no? Before you take the statistics, you need to finish the integral calculus first. Because there are times that you need to integrate first before you find the solution. No, because the integration, may kinalaman yan sa summation. No? Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng integral. Okay, so now, uh, let's say ito, no? Determine the average value of a signal that follows the following waveforms. So basically, ito medyo may kinalaman sa integration. So yan yung magiging limits niya, no? So may mga condition tayo. If 0, 1 and 0 ang magiging limit. Pag 1, ang ating voltage or 2 and 1, no? So yun yung usually. So ibig sabihin dito sa formula lang ito, kung 10 sin to, o 'di ba? So magkakaroon ka ng limit, no? Anyway, later mag-discuss natin itong mga to. Weighted mean is ito naman yung ano, may kanya-kanyang weight. Parang hindi kagaya ng average, pantay-pantay. Halimbawa, for example, no? Ano example na, no? Si quiz 1, 20%. Si recitation, 30%. So, kada do, may weighted. Hindi kagaya pag average, pag tinotal mo, pantay-pantay. No? Okay, kaya meron tayong multiplier. Minumultiply yung weight, yung percentage, kung ilan yung weight. And that is the formula for the weighted mean. So, anyway, ito, no? So, sabi dito, kung makikita mo dito guys, merong mga rate. Yung mga rate na yun, i-multiply mo individually per hour. Okay? So basically, yun yung ating magiging pinaka solution, no? So halimbawa, ito, in this case, the Carter Construction Company pays its hourly rate employees 16.50, 19, and 25 per hour. There are 26 hourly employees, 14 of which are paid at $16.50 per rate. Then, so may mga kanya-kanyang ano, may mga kanya-kanyang ano, tawag dito, hourly rate. So ngayon, sabi dito, ito yung mga bayad, 25. So may 16.5 plus 19 plus 25. There are 26 hourly employers, 14 of which are paid at 16. So magkakaroon ka dito ng 14. Ito naman ay 10. Then ito naman ay 2. Or sabi which 40 which are paid at the 16.50, 10 at 19, and 2 at $25 per rate. Okay. What is the mean hourly rate? O, di kapag ganyan, i-divide mo dun sa total. So, ito na yung weighted mean. So, yan na yung pinaka-ans. Kung pag tinotal mo yan, yan na yung pinaka magiging weighted mean. So, meron siyang variation kada individual element, no? So, yan yung, you can just continue na lang, no? So, that's how we interpret the weighted mean. Okay, next. Geometric mean. Okay, so geometric mean, guys, uh, yun yung formula, no? Wherein there is in pi, n, or I. Kaya, so later, no, ma-discuss natin. Ano ba, what is the geometric mean? Okay. So ngayon, kunin natin yung formula. Ano ba yung formula ulit ng tinatawag na geometric mean, no? So again, from the perspective natin, pag sinabi natin geometric mean, anong kaibahan niya sa arithmetic mean? Kung yung arithmetic mean is the summation divided by the total, ano naman ang tinatawag na geometric mean, no? Okay, ang geometric mean, guys, bibigyan ko ng example, no? Ito for example, no? Let me compute. Okay. So ito ay nahanap dito, no? Ang pinaka-formula niyan, meron kang n, that is x, ay wait lang. So the geometric mean, ito ang pinaka-formula, that is the square root yung n natin kung ilan yung ating magiging data. So ito na lang mas madali, no? X sub 1 times X sub 2 times X sub 3, then so on and so forth. Okay, yan yung pinaka madaling formula natin. Now, dito sa ating example, no guys, halimbawa, sa case na ito, find the geometric mean between the numbers 5, 9, 25, and 80. So, ilan ba lahat yan? Meron ka dito apat. So, 4 to. Tapos, iisa-isahin natin. Meron kang 5 times 9 times 25 times 80. So, basically, yun yung ating magiging geometric mean. I think we can use the calculator na meron ako dito para makita nyo rin. Let me, ano no, let me use the calculator. Okay, saan ba yun? Okay, calculator. Ayun. Okay, so kapag ganyan, is that may online calculator, shift, lagyan mo na lang 4, tapos 5 times 9 times 25 times 8. Basically, yan yung ano, pinaka-geometric mean. So, yan yung 17.32. So, that is the geometric mean. No? So, take note of the formulas. So, geometric mean. Okay? So, that is 17.32. And that is for knowing the concept of geometric mean. So, importante yan guys, no? Yung arithmetic mean, the geometric mean, and even the harmonic mean that we will be discussing din lately, no? Kasi yan, mga, actually, examples yan eh, no? Encounter nyo pa yan sa mga sequences, sa progression, no? Almost na-encounter din yung mga yan. Okay? Sige. So, that is how we discuss, no? Yung ating tinatawag na geometric mean. Okay? Sige. So, I think we can now proceed no, to the next topic. So, basta tandaan nyo lang guys, no, ang geometric mean is simply, ito ang pinaka-formula, yun nga, yung n, x1, x sub 2, then x sub n. Yan yung number of, yung n is the number of terms that are multiplied. Okay? Sige. So, yan mas madali na formula to interpret. So, meron ka ng arithmetic mean, mayroon ka ng geometric mean. Okay, so ito naman, ganun din naman, no? Pero ito, this is more on the average. Later, I will be discussing na lang yung mga yan. No? Okay, doon na tayo sa mga ano, para mabilis. Ito kasi pang ano to eh. Wait lang ha. Doon tayo sa, ay, wait lang. Okay, trim bin. Ito yung trim bin guys, no? Removing the upper and lower outliers. Computed by trimming away a certain percentage. Both the largest and smallest. The example at the 10% trimming is found by eliminating the largest 10 and the largest smallest 10%. I think meron ako magandang example dyan pagdating sa trim mean. Let me show my tawag dito, may one of the example no ginagamit ko sa review. Okay, pagdating sa statistics. Okay, so ito yon no. May part dito sa trim mean eh. Okay, trim mean. Ayan, no? Halimbawa ito guys, no? Compute the 20% trim mean of the dataset. So, paano ba ito ginagawa? No? Okay, so ibig sabihin, you need to get, ito yung ano, kumbaga sa ano, ito yung solution. Let me show the solution. No? Pero ipapakita ko using the ang gagawin ko lang naman, i-arrange ko from ascending to descending. So, ito na yung ascending data. Okay, so mula sa maliit hanggang sa pinakamalaki. So if you will count that, ang sample size is 15. Now, get the 20%. The 20% of 15 is 3. So ibig sabihin, we should remove 3 from the lowest, mawawala ito. And 3 from the highest. Yun yung tinatawag na trim mean. Kaya, instead of all, ito na lang yung ikakalculate ko as my total mean. And this is the formula. So, I will just use my calculator na lang para kunin yung mean. So, how can we do that? Punta ako sa mode, stat, number 1. So, ilalagay ko na lang yung trim mean. Kasi trim na natin eh. O, 2.9, 3.0, then 3.3, then 3.4, as well as the 3.6, then 3.7, then 4.0, then 4.4, then as well as the 4.8. So kung titingnan natin lahat, no? Dito wala na tayong kukumpitin. We'll just allow the calculator. Kung gusto mo malaman, ito yung method, shift 1, punta ka sa number 4. Yung number, yung n, indicating the sample. So meron kang 9. Tama. So mean ang hinahanap natin. So mean, punta ako ng number 4, then number 2. So meron ako mean na 3.6078. So yan yung aking streamed mean ang tawag dyan. And that is the example of the stream mean wherein we get yung tinatawag na 20%, 30%, like that. Okay, I hope na yan ay klaro dyan sa part na yan. So therefore, alam na natin yung ibig sabihin ng stream mean. So kinukuha natin yung, kaya kailangan nyo ma-arrange from the ascending to descending. So this is the purpose is to remove the outliers, no? And getting the arithmetic mean, no? Hindi yan tinatawag na trim mean. Okay. So halimbawa ito, 10%, edi i-arrange natin. O arrange natin ito. O, so naka-arrange naman. So ilan lahat? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, by removing. Ano ba yung 10% ng 10? 1, no? So that is 1. So therefore, mag-remove ka, alisin mo yung pinaka lowest one sa highest one. So ito na lang ito na yung summation, yung trim mean, no? Okay, so ito yung 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 divided by 8 na lang. So yun na yung pinaka-trim mean. Kaya ang total niyan, 5, 9, 14, 20, 28, 37, 47 divided by 8. So ano ba yung 47 divided by 8? Sa calculator natin, if we will compute that, the 47 divided by 8, and that is equivalent to 5.875. So that is the calculation, the 5.875. So yan yung pinaka ano natin. Okay? So I think yan yung isa sa mga topic na dapat nating maintindihan din. Okay? So quadratic mean, ito naman, the root mean square of a certain quantity. So, alam mo yung sabihin ng salitang quadratic? Ang quadratic is ano yan, curved kasi yan eh, naka-square. Pwedeng ano yan, pwedeng parabola, quadratic yun eh. Pwedeng circle, no? Or basta quadratic naka-square yun, no? Linear straight line yun. Cubic naka-raise sa 3, no? So tandaan niyo yung mga uh, ano na yan, example na yan. So, okay. So dito tayo sa quadratic mean. Actually, kung naalala nyo, no, ang root mean square, kung di ako nagkakamali, ay ito ang formula, the RMS. RMS is summation of x squared divided by n. Kumbaga yung X representing the data set, the value of the data set. Kaya, ang ibig sabihin niyan, pwede mo sabihin na ganito yung isang formula niyan. Meron kang X sub 1 square plus X sub 2 square plus dot 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 plus X, yan, no? Divided by N. That is the formula. Kaya yun yung summation. So, kaya ang steps niyan, ini-square natin yung each number, summing the square, divide the count kung ilan, then taking the square root. And that is called the uh, root mean square, no? Root mean square ang tawag dyan, no? Okay. So, halimbawa, no, bigyan tayo ng example. Halimbawa, find the quadratic mean. Find the quadratic mean. Let's say in RMS of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. O paano ko kunin ang quadratic mean yan? E di summation, that is x1, 2 squared plus 4 squared plus 6 squared plus 8 squared plus 10 squared plus 12 squared. Then taking the sample, ilan lahat yung sample na yan? Kung bibilangin ko yan, meron akong 6 nakapaloob doon sa loob ng square. Kaya quadratic, no? Okay, so therefore, our RMS o the root mean square, ano ba sagot natin dyan? Sa calculation ko, 7.789. No? Yan yung aking RMS based doon sa aking calculation. Now, let's try no, to use our calculator. O pwede naman si calculator dyan. Mm. So, ganun din. Kukunin ko yung ano muna. Mode, 3 stat, number 1. So, ilagay ko yung 2, 4, 6, 8, and as well as 10, as well as 12. So, actually, kung quadratic mean ang pinag-uusapan natin dyan, no? Usually, pupunta ka dito, number 1. Tapos kung titignan mo yung number 3, di ba? O, di punta ka sa number 1. Tapos, i-divide mo natin by 6. Taking the square root. O, di ba parehas lang? That is how we compute using the root mean square, using the calculator. So, ulitin ko ulit yung step. Anong ginawa ko? Punta ako ng shift number 1. Punta ka sa 3 sa sum. Pipindutin ko yung number 1 kasi yan yung naka-quadratic. Ngayon, i-divide ko kung ilan yung total. So, I think meron tayong 6. Ngayon, dahil ito, kinakailangan ko pang square root yan. So, square root yung answer, then that is the 7.789. I hope yan ay klaro, no? So, para hindi ka na mag-compute ng mahaba. Okay. Sabi ko, kung ako na board exam, sa licensure examination for teachers, na ka-encounter ako ng ganyang question, hindi ako nagsulat, no? I just only use the calculator. Tipid pa ako sa papel, no? Ginagamit ko lang yung papel pag talagang kailangan, no? Kapag talagang mga worded problems na matitindi. Pero pag mga ganyan, hindi ko na hinahayaang magsulat ako sa papel because meron naman kaming calculator. Karse yung ginagamit ko na calculator, which is allowed by the PRC. So through that, naiiwasan natin yung mga ano, yung mga tawag dito, yung mga ano, yung sa pag ano ng papel, no? Time consuming kasi. Anyway, yan yung formula. So, it is useful for certain quantities where the value of the quantity is continuously changing from positive to negative. Okay, yan yung formula na sinasabi ko in the discrete case. Continuous case, meron kang integration, no? May limit. Kaya tinatawag na continuous. No? Tapos ito yung ililimit natin. No? Okay. So ito, nagbigay na tayo ng example ito. We can use the calculator na lang siguro to solve this. O what is the quadratic mean of shift? O ito yung ikakalkyo ko na lang to Number 4, variance. Or ano pala, shift. Number 1, uh, mode 3 stat. Number 1. So lagay ko muna yung 1, 2, -1, 2, -1, 4, -1, and 3. So meron kang 8 lahat, di ba? 8 samples. So anong gagawin ko dito? Siyempre, hindi na ako magsusulat. Ang gagawin ko lang, shift number 1, punta ako ng 3 sum, number 1, divided by 8. Then ito yung quadratic, square root, answer, and that is the quadratic mean. Pero kung gagamit ako ng formula yan, yan din ang sasagot, 2.15 din. Pwede naman, no? Pero masyado ng mahaba, no? Kasi kung kukunin mo pa yung square root niyan, di ba? Yung 1 squared, 2 squared, plus -1 squared, plus 2 squared, plus -1 squared, plus 4 squared, plus -1 squared, plus 3 squared. Yung square root. Divided by 8. O, di ba? So yun, ito rin lalabas dyan. Quadratic mean is 2.15 and that is the answer. Okay, that is the case pagdating sa quadratic mean. Okay, so I hope yan ay naintindihan, no? In that case. So ito naman ito medyo may kinalaman sa pero kayo hindi naman dahil IE kayo sa ECE. Di-discuss ko 'yan, no? Pero kasi kapag iba yung kaso sa sa ang formula niyan, square root of I think that would be uh, integral, no? So 0 to pi tapos 10 sin t dt, 'di ba? So yan yung na naka-square pa. Kasi yung f of x mo dito or f of t mo dito is 10 sin t. Alam naman natin the formula is square root of integral b and a f of x squared, di ba? O f of t sa case na yan. Tapos b minus a. So, ganun ang gagawin natin dito, pi minus 0. But we can use the calculator naman directly. Pwede naman, no? Kung ganyan, ano ko lang, i-radian ko lang, no? Kasi gagamit ako ng calcu, radian mode. Tapos, i-mode 1 ko lang ulit. Square root of. Okay, the integral of. Okay, tapos ilalagay ko dito yung. Okay, tapos the integral of at 10 sin x. Lalagay ko lang ng alpha x. Tapos square. Okay, ilalagay ko dito is pi and 0. Tapos ito naman ay pi minus 0. So that is how we use the calculator, the integral. So ito yung lalabas sa sagot. Ay, sorry, nawala. Okay, so that is 7.07. O, 7.07. Ito yung quadratic mean. Kung continuous. Ito kasi this is continuous. Ito naman discrete. Okay. So, anyway, ito naman yung mas likely binibigay ko, discrete, no? Pero ito, continuous kasi ito. What determine the quadratic voltage? Oh, so, yan yung formula, no? To get that value. Okay? So, I hope yan ay klaro din sa part na yan. Okay, so yan, ganun din naman yung iba. Median, itong median guys is more on the concept of the middlemost, the midpoint, no? Kailangan mo ma-arrange from smallest to largest, no? Para makuha mo yung median. So kayo, merong odd and even. Usually kapag odd, you will just get the total number plus 1 divided by 2. Yun yung median natin. Kung even naman, yung formula, no? Pero ako usually yung pinaka middlemost, no? Halimbawa, ito, there is a unique median for each data set. It's not affected by extremely large set values and therefore valuable measure of central tendency when such values occurs. It can be computed for ratio level, no? It can be computed for an open-ended. Siguro we can have a example, no? So dito, kailangan mo ma-arrange. No, ilan ba to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So middle most. O, ano ba pinakamaliit dito? 0.9. Tapos, meron pa ba? 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, dalawa. And then as well as the 2.1 and 2.7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So ilan lahat ang total population? Okay, meron tayong 8 total population. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So ngayon, ang middlemost natin, most likely, no? Kasi odd number to eh. If you will count the number of n is 7, which is an odd number. Eh kapag ganyan, kinukuha natin yung, ito kasi, ito yung first, ito yung mga element. Okay? So usually, kinukuha natin yung gitna. I-add natin. O kaya pinakagitna, ano pala to, no? Usually, add pala to. So yung pinakagitna. Oo, gitna. So ano ba yung pinakagitna nito? Ito. No? So 1.8 ang ating median. The middlemost. Kasi the median is the middlemost. Okay, magbigay pa ako ng isa pang example. I think meron ako dito, no? Pakita ko lang, no? Dito sa example ng median, I think we can have para maintindihan ito, no? Median, I think dito sa una yon. Yan, ito. Okay. Ito muna, no? Yan. What is the sample median of the data set of that simple arrangement? So, ang solution natin dito, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, doon tayo sa yung add muna. Add. Ito, add to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, anong ginawa natin dito? Actually, ang ginawa ko dito, in-arrange ko ito. It's 2.2, yung pinakamaliit, no? 3.11, ano pala, 1.7, 1.7, 2.2. This is 3.09 guys, dito 3.9, no? 3.11, then 14.7. This is 3.09. So, alam mo yung middlemost? Eh, dito itong nasa gitna. Okay? Yan yung pinaka-example, no? Now, in this case, makikita nyo, ganun lang ginagawa natin. This is 3.09 na. So, kukunin mo yung pinaka-formula niya. Ilan ba to lahat? 5. 5 plus 1, 6 divided by 2. So, yung third element, yun yung median. No, kapag in the range mo. Okay? Now, pag gano'n naman, kapag even, ito ang ginagamit pag even. So, basically, pag even, ito, ang n mo dito ay 6. So, maglalagay ka dito ng 1.7, 2.2, 3.09, 3.11, then 5.1, and 14.7. So, usually, yung pinaka-middlemost, ina-add natin, didivide natin sa 2. So, usually, yun ang ginagawa ko. Ah, kukunin ko yung pinakagitna niyan kasi median ang tinatawag natin, 3.09 divided by the 3.11. And basically, 3.09 plus the 3.11 divided by 2. So, yun yung aking ano. So, magkakaroon ka ng, divided by 6 pa rather. Kasi, ito ay 1, 2, 3, 6. So, magkakaroon tayo ng value na, wait lang That is, divided by 2 rather, tama. Divided by 2. Oh, namali lang yung value, no? Kasi 3.9 yung ginamit nila dyan. Okay, pero kung 3.9 to, ay, yan yung, kaya nag-equivalent to ano yan, to 3.505. Pero 3.09 talaga yun. Pero sige, sige, sakay sa 3.9, pwede rin naman. Kung 3.9 yan, pwede naman pala 3.9. So, doon na tayo sa 3.9. Sige. Kasi 1.7, 2.2, 3.11, 3.90. Then 5.1, then 14.7. So, ito yung middlemost. Pag inad mo ito, lalabas yung 3.505. So, that is the median, no? The example of a median. Para maintindihan natin yung ibig sabihin ng median. So, I think that is clear, no? Pagdating sa median, middlemost value. Okay, mode, ito yung most frequent. Most frequent na nag-a-appear. Kaya may mga unimodal tayo. Unimodal, bimodal, no? Okay, dito sa case ito, sa frequency, kung naalala nyo, yung most frequent na nag-a-appear, yun yung tinatawag na mode, no? Okay, when you want to find the most occurring frequency score, that is the mode. That is quick approximation of the average. O sa isang tingin, makikita mo na agad yung average. Although, unreliable siya among the three measures because it is undefined in some observation. Okay, saka nominal lang yung kaya niyang i-measure or nominal, no? And can be applied in mga polls. Sa mga polls lang ito, sa mga voting. Okay, now, meron tayong two modes, may tinatawag na bimodal, pwedeng trimodal, or multimodal. Ibig sabihin, meron pa kang unimodal. O yung ano pala, yung no mode talaga. Okay, example, no? At a certain poll, the following data were recorded. One is yes, two is no. Zero is undecided. What is the model choice? Di ba? So, ngayon, at sa case na yan, no? One, two, zero, what is the model choice? So, makikita natin dito yung mode pala is ganito ang symbol, no? Oh, yun yung mode, no? Okay. So, one, two. So, depende yun sa data, no? Kung ilan yung frequent na nag-a-appear. Ilan ba yung nag-1? Ilan ba yung nag-2? No? Okay. Now, example pa tayo, no? I think, ito will be, lang, no? Siguro, discuss, no? Itong, i-discuss na rin natin to yung measures of location. Okay. Sige, teka lang. Maghanap ako ng example ng modes, no? Okay. Okay, halimbawa guys, no, explain ko kayo, no, bago tayo pumunta dyan, stay ko mabuti itong unimodal. Okay, halimbawa, ito sa case na ito, may tinatawag tayo na unimodal. Ibig sabihin, sa dataset natin, with one mode. Okay, halimbawa, sa dataset natin na 2, 3, 3, 5, ano pa ba? 6, 6, 6, 7. Okay. Ano dito yung sa mga element ang most frequent, di ba? 6. 6 ang ating mode. So therefore, dahil ang 6 ay nag-appear 3 times, yung 3 is 2 times, is called unimodal. Kasi nag-appear lang siya one mode. No? Ang tawag doon is unimodal. No? Okay, may tinatawag tayo na bimodal. Ang bimodal, data set with two modes. With two modes. Example niya, halimbawa, ito yung dataset natin. 3, 3, and 3. Then 5, 7, 7, and 7. Okay. So dito, ano yung modes natin dito? That is 3 and 7 appearing 3 times. Di ba? So nakikita natin dito, yun yung tinatawag na bimodal. Now, pag try, ganun din naman ang trimodal. Tatlong mode. Multimodal, four or more. Kung ang trimodal, ang trimodal is three modes. No? Ang multimodal naman, four or more. Yan yung indication. Pag tumama na ng four or mahigit pa, tinatawag na multimodal. So, titingnan mo talaga, no? Okay? So, yun yung isang example ng okay, no? Halimbawa, no? May mga application kasi yan eh. Gumamit ka ng AI, tapos gusto mong i-analyze, no? Yung isang scenario na pwede mong gamitan ng ganyang modes, no? So may mga pagkakataon ganyan, okay? Anyway, this is how we apply these modes. No? Sana malinaw to, no? Yung part na yan. Okay, so dito tayo ngayon sa ano, measures of central tendency. Yung quantiles. Quantiles or fractiles, these are points taken at regular intervals from the cumulative distribution function of a random variable. Dividing all the data into Q. Kaya tinatawag natin quantiles. Q minus 1, Q quantile, and K ng integer. So meron tayong mga example niyan. So pag apat, quartiles. Decile, 10. Percentile, 100. So yun yung mga groupings. Tandaan niyo yan, no? So any of the three fractals obtained by dividing the three set of data of four equal parts. Q1 is the lower quartile, which contains the lowest 25%. Ang Q2 naman is the median, which divides the data into two equal parts. And Q3 is the third quartile. Yan naman yung upper 25. So dapat tingnan natin yung mga yan. No? Okay, no universal agreement on a single procedure for calculating quartiles. And different computer programs often yield different results. For example, if you use the data set, you will get these results. So, depende kung halimbawa ano yung gagamitin mong tool. So, nagkakaiba-iba, no? Pero, ito yung gagawin natin, no? So, pagbibigyan ko ng example. Wait lang, ha? I will give an example of a quartile. Okay. Sige, ito yung ano ko, no? I think I can give an example here. Quartile, tas percentile. Hanap lang ako ng PPT. Ayan. Dito tayo mag-solve. Ayan. Example ito. Ah, ano, ano mo maganda example? Ito na example, no? Kasi itong data, i-arrange ko na in ano no, 6, 12, 15, 18, 21, 25, 29, 33, 35, 36, and 40. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Tama ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So ngayon, ito yung ah kumbaga sa ano, yan yung kukunin natin ng ano yung first, second quartile nito, no? So ngayon, kunin muna natin yung ano. So step 1 natin, kapag magsasolve ka ng arrange, order, no? Order the data. Okay, ang step 2, kapag nagsasolve ka ng quartile, is find the median, Q2. Hanapin mo yung median, yung gitna. O kaya aalamin natin yan, no? Median Q2. So yung middle value, o ano ba yung middle value dyan? Ano to 11 to eh. Tandaan nyo, ang n nito is 11. Ano ba gitna ng 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ay, ilan ano pala to? 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 pala. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So ano ba yung pinaka middlemost? O ano ba yung 6 data point natin? No? So therefore, guys, kung pag-uusapan ay gitna, ito x sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 3, x sub 4, x sub 5, x sub 7, x sub 8, x sub 9, x sub 10, x 11. So taglilima yan. So ito yung ating median. So ibig sabihin, 25 ang aking median. Ang middlemost ko dito is 25. So dahil ito ay quartile, 25%. Mm-hmm. Ngayon, kukunin ko naman yung yung natitira. Ano ba yung middlemost value na tong ano? Ito kasi yung first part. Then ito yung second part. So ngayon, kukunin ko yung lower quartile. Find the lower quartile. At sa case na ito, yun yung Q1. Kaya, based dun sa aking no, sa aking arrangement, ang middle value nito sa 6, 12, 15, 18, and 21 ay ito, 15. So yung Q1 ko is 15. At yung step 4, yung upper quartile. Kasi we are determining positioning, no? Find the upper quartile. Ano ba yung upper quartile? Q3. So doon tayo sa higher, yung 29, 33, 35, 36, 40. So ito yung median. So yung Q3 natin ay 35. So rearranging ulit, di ba? So alam na natin yung mga positions. 6, 12, 15, 18, 21, 25, 29, 33, 35, 36, and 40. So by positioning, 25% Kung ika-calculator ko to guys, no? Kasi quartile to eh. Ang 25% ng 11 ay pang ilang position? So, pang 2.75. Mhm. So, ibig sabihin, nandito nga. No? Kaya tama, no? Ito yung lower. Ito yung Q1. O, ito yung 2.75, 3. Ito yung Q2. And this is the Q3. Kaya pag tanong, what is the Q1, Q2, Q3? No? O, yan yung ano, yan yung ating pagkuha ng quartile. That is an example. Okay? Sa pagkuha, pag-compute, no? Ng quartile. Okay? So, I hope yan ay klaro dyan sa part na yan, no? So, yung Q1 is the lower quartile, Q3 is the middle quartile. O, pa example, ito mas madali. O, let's say, example, you have 5, 7, 4, and 4, 6, and 2, and 8. O, find the quartile, put them in order muna. So, ito yung solution. Unahin mo yung 2, dalawang 4, then isang 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, ilan to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. O, guys, kung kukunin ko, ito yung aking Q2. Yun yung middle quartile. O tinatawag natin na median. Ito mismo yung median, gitna. Okay, ito naman yung lower quartile. So kung titignan ko ito mabuti, sa positioning, ito yung gitna, Q1. Ito yung lower quartile. At sa positioning, ito naman yung gitna. Ito yung upper quartile. Okay, basically yan. So, yung Q1 is 4, Q2 is 5, that is the median, and the Q3 is the 7 or the upper quartile. That's how we solve the problem, no? Okay, so I hope na yan ay klaro, no, sa part na yan. So, yun yung ano, quartile. Kasi didiscuss pa natin yung decile and the percentile. Yun yung topic natin for today. Okay, quartile, ito yung location. So, ito, na-discuss ko na, yun yung technique, no? Pero mas madali yung ano, yung technique na ibibigay ko sa inyo, no? So, discuss ko na rin yung decile and percentile. Okay, sige, no? Ito naman, mga observation data, siguro mas madali, example ko na lang. Ito, mga ano lang naman to. Okay, ito mas maano. Okay, sige, discuss ko muna yung ano, yung tinatawag na uh, decile, tapos percentile. Discuss ko, no? Okay. So, doon muna tayo sa decile. Okay. Ang decile, guys, ito naman yung decile. So, kung alam na natin yung quartile, yung decile, kung di ako, ano, is a value that divides the data sets, that divides the data set into 10 equal parts. Okay. So, halimbawa, magbigay tayo ng example, no, ng decile. Okay, hanap lang ako ng example ng decile. Example. Kasi alam na natin na yan ay, kumbaga sa ano, Okay, so halimbawa, find the 6th and ninth and the ninth decile for the data in the above in the data set below. Okay, so halimbawa, i-arrange na natin, no? Ito yung arrange para hindi na tayo, para ano na, dire-diretso na. Ito yung arrange data set. Pero kung hindi naka-arrange, i-arrange pa natin ascending to ascending order tayo, no? Mula sa pinakamaliit. 23, i-arrange ko na. 24, 27, 30, 32, 32, 32. Ito, madami-dami kasi ito. 33, 36, then 36, 42, 45, 51, 54, 55, 51, 54, 55, isa pang 55, 56, isa pang 55 pa pala, tatlo. Ay, tama, wait lang ah. Dalawang 55 lang, 56, 57, 59, 62, 63, 72, and 80. Now, kung bibilangin ko yan, paki-check kung tama yung bilang ko, 23 ang pagkakabilang ko dyan. Now, ang sabi sa decile, 10 equal parts. So, to get the D6, no? So, ang gagawin ko lang dito, uh, most likely, we will be going to multiply yung ating 6, no? Multiplier yan. O yung, ito kasi yung formula niyan, no? To get the formula, kung D6 yan, that is 6n plus 1 divided by 10. So, yun yung gagawin ko. Kung ang hinahanap naman is D9, ito naman ang formula niyan. 9n plus 1 divided by 10. So, ano ba yan natin? 23. So, ito, 6. 23 plus 1 divided by 10. So, ano ba ang lalabas dito? Okay. So, ngayon, kapag kinuha ko ito, 24 times 6, let me compute. 24 times 6 divided by 10. That is 14.4. So, 14.4. Ngayon, magbibilang tayo ng 14.4. Ibig sabihin, nasa anong pagitan natin makikita yung D6. So, 14. So, x sub 1, di ba? X sub 2, x sub 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay. So ngayon, dyan sa kasong yan, no, ano ba yung malapit sa 14.4? So say 54 and 55. Ito kasi yung nasa gitna ng, andito yung 14.4 in between ito. So ngayon, dahil ito yung dalawang ating kukunin between 54 and 55, so ibig sabihin, nandyan nakalay. So paano natin gagawin yan, no? Dahil ang nakuha ko is 14.4. What we're going to do, kasi ito, nakalay, ano no, this lies between 54 and 55. So ang gagawin natin dito, kukunin ko yung formula. Ang pinakagagawin ko dyan is yung 54, ipa-plus ko, di ba? Ipa-plus ko siya plus point 4 multiplied by 55 minus 54. So, yan yung gagawin natin. No? Kasi, ang nakita ko is 14.4 eh. 14.4. So, pag kinumpit natin to, 55 minus 54, 55 minus 54 multiplied by 0.4. Okay, so yun yung formula, no? Plus 54. So, meron tayong 54.4. So, ito na mismo yung location niya. To be exact. Ang D6 ito, to be exact, is 54.4. O usually, kung bibilangin mo na naman, dahil 54 yan, 14.4, edi magdagdag ka na lang 0.4. So, yan yung kanyang D6. So, that is the D6. No? I hope yan ay klaro, no? Sa part na yan. Yun yung kanyang ano. Ngayon, ito naman, that is 9, 23 plus 1 divided by 10. Ito, may hawak akong calculator. Nasa 21.6. O, nasa may 21.6. Saan ba nakalay? Kung 15 to, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. So, nandito yung 21 and 22. So, between 63 and 72. Now, ang gagawin ko na lang dyan, ang formula dyan, 63 plus, dahil meron kang 0.6 na 21.6, 72 minus 63. So, yun yung ginagamit natin para malaman natin yung exact location. Yan yung pag may decimal value, no? So, therefore, sa calculator ko, ang lalabas dito is 68.4. So, therefore, guys, no? Yan yung aking yan yung aking D9, no? Okay, yan yung aking D9. Okay, so therefore, that is how we compute for the D9, D5, no? And D6, okay? Or D6 and D9. That is the how we put the location, no? Yung ating tinatawag na decile. Okay. So that is how we solve. Okay, no? So yun yung ating solution. Okay. So I hope yan ay clear, no? So that is how we compute for the decile. Sana maliwanag, no, yung tinatawag natin na decile. So yun yung formula. So you can just use the formula. Okay, so I think we can now proceed to the quartile. Quartile na tayo para matapos na last topic na ito, quartile. O yung pala, percentile. Okay, so now, ano naman yung tinatawag na percentile? Percentile. So 100% naman, no? 'Di ba? Pag sinabi nating percentile, kumbaga sa ang percentile, yan yung percentage of the values, no? A percentile indicates the percentage, 100% kasi ibig sabihin, the percentage of values in a data set, no? Okay. So I think I can give an example, no, ng percentile. Para makuha yung pinaka-formula ng percentile. Usually, ito ang percentile formula. Ibigay ko na rin. No? Yung n over n times 100. Where p is the percentile. Tapos yung N is the ordinal rank of the given value. Yung N is the number of values in the data sets. Sa data set, no? Kung ilan. Yan yung pinaka-formula no? For the percentile na dapat uh, huwag nating kakalimutan. No? Okay, so ano ba yung mga steps? No? So, I think we can apply the formula. No? Meron akong uh, let's say ito, the example na to, no? Para director tayo example. The scores obtained by 10 students are, let's say ito, no? 38, 47, 49, 58, 60, 65, 70, 79, 80, 92. Calculate the percentile. Let's say, ang pinapakalculate sa atin dito, yung, ano magandang halimbawa, yung ano, for score 70. Okay. So, solution, given the scores obtained, 38, 47, 49, 58, 60, 65, 70, 79, 80, and 92, ang number of scores below 70, ilan yung number of scores below 70? So, kinakailangan i-arrange mo na talaga, no? So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no? So, ito yung number of scores below 70. So, meron kang 6. Yan yung number of scores below 70. Okay. Using the formula of the percentile, gagamitin natin to. Yung tinatawag na ordinal rank. So, basically, we have 6 divided by 10 times 100. So, meron kang 60. Kasi 0.6 yun eh. So, therefore, the percentile ng 70 ay 60%. Ito yung tinatawag na percentile niya. Which is tama naman, no? Kasi kung titila mo to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ito yung 50%, 65. Ito yung 60. Ito yung 70. Kung i-manual natin, no? Or something like that, 70, 80, 90, parang ganon. Kasi 100 na yung isa, no? So, most likely ganon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Diba? Diba? 5, 6, 7, 8 time. Diba? So, yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ito pala yung 50 pala rather. No? Anyway, ito yung nasa 60%. Pero, in calculation, para to be exact, ito din gamitin natin. 60%, 70. No? So, para makuha natin, more than 50% kasi yan. Pero kung titignan mo mabuti, may 10 students ka. No? Okay, ito yung 60% percentile. Okay? So, yun yung ating yan yung percentile, 60%. No? Okay. So, ano pa halimbawa? O, ito, example. O, the weight of 10 people. The weights of 10 people were recorded in kilogram as 35, 41, 42, 56, 58, 62, 70, 71, 90, and 77. Uh, what is the percentile for 58? The percentile for 58. Okay, so anong gagawin natin dito guys? To? So basically, ang gagawin natin dito, kailangan natin naka-arrange na ba? Ayun, naka-arrange naman na. Okay, siguro i-arrange ko lang muna. In such a case, ito yung solution dito, no? So ito yung arrangement nito. Ito yung solution. 35, 41, 42, 56, 58, 62, 70, 71, 77, 90. O yan. Yan yung arrangement. So ilan lahat to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ilan yung, sabi dito, what is the percentile 58? For 58. So meron tayong scores below 58. So meron tayong 4. To solve that, P is equivalent to N over N times 100. So meron kang 4 over 10, kasi 10 lahat yun times 100. So ang percentile ito is 40%. So ibig sabihin, guys, ang 58 natin is, ang percentile ng 58 is pang 48, ay pang 40%. I hope yan ay klaro pagdating sa percentile. I think we can now end the session and have some recap of the discussion.